I get murky, they get. Look, if you got a GAT, bring it out. Most of the real bad boys miss out. If you wanna do me something, I'm about. I'm not a gangster, I'm shabab. You see, man, man, over there with a. They wanna give you, man, try get loud. All of my men, them move so foul. I might sing, but I ain't sold out.
He weighed in at 227.2 pounds. He holds a near-perfect professional record of 10 victories, opposite just 1 defeat, with 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout.
Why that right hand? He's in there coming again! It's John who walked right into it, and you can't do that against Anthony.
The Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua fight in December 2025 was nothing short of savage. A collision of raw force and merciless intent that stunned the entire world. This Netflix spectacle wasn't just a fight, it was an emotional detonation. Chaos met carnage inside the ring. 4 rounds of relentless punishment, reckless ambition, and bone-rattling power created a moment that boxing fans will never forget.
As you can hear, it is a Jake Paul-friendly crowd.
Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua. On paper it sounded insane. A YouTuber, 6 feet 1 inch, roughly 220 pounds, standing across from a 2-time heavyweight champion, 6 feet 6 inches, over 240 pounds, a man whose fists had ended careers and erased dreams. The size disparity alone screamed danger. Joshua was a disciplined wrecking machine, forged by Olympic pedigree and decades of brutal preparation. Every inch, every pound, every measured punch carried consequences Jake had never truly faced. The spark came when Gervonta Davis pulled out. The easy path was right there. But Jake rejected it. He demanded something real. A fight that could immortalize him or destroy everything he had built in front of the world. He wasn't stepping into a tune-up. He was walking into a heavyweight storm.
Paul, Anthony Joshua.
This is a win-win and another challenge for myself. I've never been knocked down or knocked out even in sparring.
He's El Gallo. He's the one and only, the problem child, Jake Paul.
Netflix recognized the magnitude instantly, branding the fight as a global event. Millions tuned in not for belts or rankings, but to witness a YouTuber stand in front of a man who redefined danger itself. This wasn't just entertainment. It was history unfolding. A cultural collision where hype met legacy, chaos challenged discipline, and one mistake could mean total annihilation.
2-time former unified heavyweight champion of the world, the 2012 Olympic gold medalist, the pride of Watford, the pride of the United Kingdom. Make some noise for the one and only Anthony Joshua.
Jake's refusal to compromise backed everyone into a corner. Suddenly, the only name left was Anthony Joshua. Olympic gold medalist. Global icon. A heavyweight built like a machine engineered for destruction. A man who had no logical reason to share a ring with someone who once built an audience through vlogs. The collision of Jake's fame engine with Joshua's legacy machine created exactly what Netflix wanted. Anger, memes, confusion, hype. For the first time in years, boxing felt dangerous again. Not staged. Not predictable. Alive. People tuned in because no one knew if they were about to witness a miracle or a massacre.
You can just tell Jake Paul's looking for the right hand over the top, the big shot. There's a good right.
Jake Paul built his boxing career with surgical precision. Every opponent carefully selected. Every condition tilted in his favor. Retired athletes. Social media personalities. Fighters long past their prime. Smaller gloves. Shorter rounds. Every loophole exploited. And it worked. His record looked pristine. Casual fans were impressed. Purists were furious. The illusion of invincibility grew. But it was exactly that, an illusion. He avoided the best by design. That strategy became his identity. Until Anthony Joshua.
I just address people that are for me. I don't address people that are against me. Basics. You know, people say, what do you feel about negative comments? I say, why am I worried about negative comments for? Why am I worried about people that don't believe in what I'm doing? I just focus on people that believe in me.
Joshua represented everything Jake had never faced. No gimmicks, No shortcuts. No manufactured narrative. 28 wins. 25 knockouts. Olympic gold. A discipline forged through years of punishment and preparation. Joshua didn't care about fame or viral moments. He lived in a world where mistakes were punished instantly. He made one thing clear. No special rules. No exhibitions. No safety nets. This was boxing at its most unforgiving.
Two-time world champion, AJ Anthony.
Jake's usual weapons, theatrics, trash talk, psychological games meant nothing here. Joshua didn't respond with insults. He delivered a colder message. Show up ready or don't show up at all. Every appearance carried silent menace. This wasn't a show. It was a reckoning. Joshua was there to remind the world that heavyweight power is not theoretical. It's real. And it's violent.
I know it's crazy and all of that, yeah, but I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. My team's excited, and everyone believes in me, and that's all that matters.
For the first time, Jake's notoriety slammed into pure, unfiltered competence. No weaker opponent. No manipulated advantage. Just a man whose presence commanded fear. Joshua didn't need hype. His silence was heavier than Jake's entire career of noise. Every movement screamed one truth. This is not a game.
He's taking his time.
Joshua's plan was ruthless. Punish errors. Control space. Deliver consequences. No flair. No mercy. Jake Paul, master of loopholes, suddenly stood naked in reality. The tricks were gone. The safety was gone. This wasn't influencer boxing. This was survival against experience, discipline, and devastating force.
At this stage, you feel as though well, there's Sean Porter's card, he's got it.
This fight wasn't about clicks. It was about truth. Joshua delivered a reminder that heavyweight boxing doesn't forgive fantasy. Jake built his career on illusion. Joshua built his on execution. When the bell rang, the difference was unmistakable. The arena felt like the world holding its breath. Jake's entrance was loud, flashy, familiar swagger. Then Joshua walked out and drained the room of oxygen. Cold, silent, dominant. Fame met consequence. Chaos met destruction.
This fella just couldn't land that big one. There's a lot of respect.
Everybody in this arena knows it's going to go off as well. Just to survive the opening section here, because Joshua's zeroing in on it.
Underneath the spectacle, the strategies were simple. Joshua planned to dismantle Jake methodically. Break rhythm. Drain confidence. Jake's approach was the opposite. Pressure. Feints. Mind games. Anything to drag Joshua into unfamiliar waters. Fame versus legacy. Chaos versus discipline. Both men believed their world would swallow the other.
Shot indeed. Jake Paul continues to be dangerous though.
The truth was uncomfortable. Jake wasn't fighting for views. Joshua wasn't fighting for clout. They were fighting to protect their entire identities. When the first bell rang, it sounded like a door opening to a burning building. Jake willingly entered. And instead of folding instantly, he fired. Jabs snapped. Hooks whipped. Feints flew. The crowd leaned forward in shock. Jake showed real speed.
That right hand. He's incoming there! It's John who walked right into it, and you can't do that against Anthony Joshua!
Joshua didn't react emotionally. He observed, calculated, adjusted. Small steps, tiny shifts, movements refined by years of violence. Jake landed body shots, solid ones. Joshua didn't flinch. The tension thickened. Jake Paul was still standing after round one. Against Anthony Joshua.
Everybody, Anthony Joshua, Gervonta, and Tommy, stop.
Round two felt surgical. Jake pushed the pace. Joshua slipped and countered with punches that sounded different. Heavy. Final. Jake's confidence grew, but so did the danger. Courage and self-destruction were inches apart.
Per usual, wanted more time. I'm not worried about Tommy right now. I'm the only thing that he has, and if he wants to fight at some point, he just has to be realistic. KSI's scared. Tommy Fury's scared.
It's absolutely bonkers how...
Round three was the turning point. Joshua sharpened his footwork, cut angles with precision, and landed counters that shook foundations. Jake's punches slowed, stretched, became desperate. Commentators went quiet. The collapse was coming. Everyone felt it. Jake refused to retreat. Then came round four. The round history would replay forever. Jake exploded forward, chaos unleashed, hoping for a miracle like before. But chaos doesn't scare Anthony Joshua. He slipped the hook, saw the opening, and detonated a perfect right hand. Jake stayed upright for a fraction of a second. Then Joshua stepped in and launched a brutal uppercut. Jake didn't fall. He flew, crashed, tried to rise, fell again. The count was ceremonial. Anthony Joshua by knockout. Violent, definitive, historic. Analysts praised Jake's heart and bowed to Joshua's power. Physics had spoken.
This is a real, legitimate fight. Jake Paul is absolutely crazy. If not crazy, he's super brave. And it'll be interesting to see.
Social media erupted. Memes, arguments. Some said Jake proved himself. Others said the gap between influencer boxing and real boxing remained massive. Everyone agreed on one thing. This was the biggest crossover earthquake boxing had ever seen.
It can happen in a variety of ways, various ways, but I'm not dependent on punch power, you know.
Jake's loss didn't destroy him. It legitimized him. Surviving 4 rounds with Anthony Joshua wasn't humiliation. It was validation. If a YouTuber could endure that, what was his ceiling?
Who was big, heavy puncher, but not as evasive. So I think if Jake has the right game plan, he has a pretty good shot of winning this.
Joshua walked away with his legacy reinforced. A reminder that heavyweight power obeys different laws. The knockout was a correction to anyone who forgot. Boxing changed that night. Influencer fighters were no longer outsiders. The lines blurred. One question lingered. Who stops Jake Paul next?
As you can hear, it is a Jake Paul friendly crowd.
Fury should be using, and that was a decent shot indeed. Jake Paul continues to be dangerous though.
Jake Paul just slightly unravelling there as Tommy Fury landed a decent shot and the bell ends the round.
Former 2-time world champion AJ Anthony.
Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua ended as a shock few imagined. A YouTuber versus a 2-time heavyweight champion. Brutal exchanges. A 4th-round knockout. Chaos, courage, and unforgiving power defined every second. Saying the matchup still sounds unreal.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua.
Not dependent on punch power, you know. You know what, it takes a lot more than that to be a great fighter. A lot more than that to be a great fighter. So.
Let's say hello to the 2 men who will be going toe-to-toe in an 8-round heavyweight bout, a pro bout, live and exclusively on Netflix from right here at the Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida.
Most believed Jake wouldn't survive a round. But the fight was about more than survival. It was about money, pride, and legacy. Behind the hype, there was drama no one expected. Jake demanded a real fight. Joshua accepted. What happened next stunned everyone.
This is a win-win and another challenge for myself. I've never been knocked down or knocked out even in sparring.
Jake's story began far from bright lights. Born in Cleveland in 1997. From early on there was hunger, relentless drive, a refusal to stay ordinary.
Cleveland, Ohio as well. He's El Gallo. He's the one and only, the problem child, Jake Paul.
Social media became both his playground and shield. Fame followed. So did controversy. Scandals, lawsuits, Disney fallout. Obsession with attention. But beneath it all was focus. The same trait that carried into boxing. The Deji fight changed everything. Cardio, pressure, willpower. By the 5th round, Deji's corner quit. Jake didn't win with skill. He won with endurance and resolve.
As in any fight, but especially with debuters, whoever lands the first clean, hard shot, that's the guy that tends to take control of the fight.
Then came Gib, a professional debut. Movement, timing, a 1st-round knockout. Suddenly the spectacle had substance. Nate Robinson was next. Athletic, explosive, famous. Jake dismantled him in 2 rounds. Distance, timing, power. The knockout silenced doubts. Woodley and Silva tested him further. Real fighters. Real danger. Jake adapted. Learned. Improved. Every fight sharpened him for something bigger.
See more action. He just landed the overhand right, testing the beard of Paul early.
And everybody was saying,
Breaking into boxing wasn't casual. It was chaos. From Robinson to Woodley, each fight was a lesson written in bruises.
Thomas Taylor saying, listen, this is boxing, but of course on this type of stage with no experience behind you.
Those fights weren't just wins. They were preparation. Education through violence. Every jab, every mistake, every adjustment led to one moment. Standing across from a real heavyweight. And surviving long enough to change the conversation forever.
That right hand over, that's better. That's a nice jab there from Tommy Fury.
It's a good left hand as well that got through. The first meaningful shot of the fight landed right at the end of the round.
Title, whatever you want to say about Jake Paul, we were all there at the very beginning when he fought Neeson Gibbs.
Fighting pride of Watford, London, England, former two-time world champion AJ Anthony Joshua. Former two-time world champion AJ Anthony.
I think it's going to be you that starts to crumble because all the pressure's on you. I'm fighting free.